Hi, welcome. Simon here and I hope you're doing well. In this video, I'll be doing a battery replacement on a MacBook Pro 2012. Okay, so let me kind of dive into it. And if you can see, this laptop here, the battery is swollen. Okay, so what happened is that all this battery is pushing the back cover. So this was the back cover here, and it pushes to a point that some of the screw just came off, and I can see that the laptop is not sit flush on the table, it's not even because the battery is bulging, swollen, and is pushing the back plate. So I need to change the battery, right? Because if you keep using a broken battery like this, one day the battery might catch fire or the thing might just explode, and it's quite dangerous, especially when you travel in a plane with this sort of battery, right? Because the plane, it get pressurized and depressurized, and that would make the battery goes bad even quicker. So let's jump right into it. I have a full assembly. This is a used MacBook Pro 2012 keyboard, touchpad, and the battery. So I like to change the entire assembly altogether versus just replacing the battery itself, because the battery is already swollen, it is dangerous to work with. At the same time, Apple, the adhesive and glue the battery very sticky, so it is difficult to pry it open or to get it out. So at this given pressure, like a time bomb, and if you try to pry it open or using like a tweezer, get a prying tool to pry it open, you might puncture the hole and kaboom, you goes. Okay, so I recommend to just buy the entire full assembly like this, and then we'll be transferring just the motherboard over and the screen, and you will have a working laptop again. All right, let's jump right into it. I pre-removed all the screws here. So the back plate has all the screws all around the corner. So what you want to have is a Pentalope P5. Pentalope P5. I'll link them in the description below. If you're not sure where to buy the parts or the tools for this repair, go check out the link in the description below. Pentalope P5, remove all the screws and you remove the back cover. The next step is to let's go ahead and disconnect the battery. So the flex cable right here, I just pop it straight up. That is for your hard drive. So this is the hard drive where you store all your information. It is just one cable with a bracket, easy to pop right off. Lift the cable up and press a little clipper right here, and then the hard drive will just pop out. This is for your speaker, and I just lift it straight up. Let's go ahead and get some screwdriver here. I'll be using a Torque 5, a T5 screwdriver. Let's go ahead and remove the screws. Okay, there's one hidden screw right underneath the bracket. What I did was I have to pop it out, and once you remove that, you can see the screw. Go ahead and remove that screw after, and therefore you can remove the entire. This is the battery connector board, right? So just remove that. Here are your RAMs. They are soldered onto the motherboard. They are not replaceable or upgradable RAMs. All right, let's move on to the next step. I like to disconnect some of the cable first. And here is your CPU fan cable. You need to flip the clipper up, flip it open. And do it for the other side of it. And slide the cable to your left on this one. And here you slide the cable away from your body. So slide it to that direction. Okay. Disconnect the cable by simply lifting straight up, and as well as this speaker. There is a tiny little cable right here with the tape that is covering up. You need to first peel the tape off. So peel it back. And then open up the clipper and slide the cable down towards your body. Okay, so make sure you pay attention to this cable right here. This is your LCD screen cable. First, you actually need to what do you call that? Open up that clipper. There's a clipper that clips onto it. Flip it open and slide the cable to your right. The cable for your webcam, just pull it straight out, pushing to that direction away from your body. And these are your Wi-Fi cable. They just pop straight up. Okay, just pop it up. There you have it. Okay, so let's get right into removing all the screws. So I'll be using a T4 screwdriver. There's one tiny cable right here. You might need to open it up first. Just like they're like Lego, snap on. You just pop it out. You need to have a Phillips screwdriver for the one on the top left corner. That is your heatsink. I'm removing this special little thing that is kind of holding down the screen, so you need to remove that as well. You can see them on both sides, left and right. What I'm trying to do now is to push this cable to my left. Or maybe I should just not do that and pop the entire stuff out altogether. Pretty much it is just a power connection that connects to the I/O board on your left. This is probably holding down to your USB, your Wi-Fi, the HDMI, things like that. So we're going to be transferring that board over as well. There are two flex cable, one for your trackpad and one for the keyboard. The keyboard is on the right, the trackpad is right in the middle. You need to open up the clipper and slide it out. It looks like I have one hidden screw right here. The hidden screw is holding me down. It's right underneath that CPU fan. What I'm trying to do now, I just kind of wiggle a little bit here and there to get the entire logic board out at the same time. This is a Torque 8. Alright, so I just removed the entire motherboard. I'll be transferring over to that new, to the used replacement part. So using a T8, Torque 8, we need to remove the screen. Okay, so let's go ahead and open up the screen at about 90-degree angle. Then the entire screen will just pop right out. So we're gonna reuse the same screen and dispose these bad batteries. Okay. So let's go ahead and slide the screen back in. You want to open that hinge at 90-degree angle so that you have enough room to slide it in. Once the thing is in, let's go ahead and put one screw back because we need to close the screen in order to continue to work. So get this screen, get this screw. I close it on one side. Let's close it on the other one here. Okay. Now when that is done, let's go ahead and finish the rest of the screw for the hinge. Once we have done all of that, let's go ahead and transfer everything back here. So we're going to slide that I/O board, the HDMI board, back into the slot. Now the challenging part is to have all the cable. Make sure you remember all that cable has to go above the motherboard, right? You're not trying to bury the trackpad or the keyboard, so you need to make sure you flip all that cable above the motherboard. That is a bit of a challenge because when you do at one point, the second one was trying to go back in. So flip it up here. Okay, now the challenging part is the same time you want to slide the speaker, right? The headphone jack, the speaker jack, the USB, slide it back in to the other side of the bracket. That is a bit of a challenge, but be patient. You should be able to do so. Make sure that the metal bracket is tucked underneath the laptop. So altogether, it's not an easy job because you need to make sure the cable is sitting above the motherboard at the same time you're sliding it in. So you're not going to get a perfect stuff. You still got to come back and redo it again. So that would be the challenging part right there. Okay, slide in. Now double check all the cable. Looks like This one here gonna come out. My keyboard cable. This tiny cable right here. Speaker cable. The LCD cable. Looks like I got all the cable that comes out. We'll find out. Okay, let's see. So let's get going. I remember the top left corner, there's a Phillips screw here holding down the heatsink. Make sure that go back in there. The Wi-Fi card, let's put it back in. Get them out of the way. I think that is a bad move because we need to slide the fan back in to the motherboard. So slide it in, slide on the other side here. I might not able to get the rubber back in. This rubber right here, well, I'll just leave it out for now. I don't think it's that important. It just pretty much add additional layer of shielding so that you direct the heat better. At the same time, fan, when it spins, it makes the noise, so the rubber is do the absorption to reduce some of the spinning noise. That's what I think is for the rubber. We'll come back and figure that out in a second. But let's get everything in here. These are the major stuff, so let's get it going. Cable, you see how that mouse and keyboard is gone again? I have no idea why they make it so short. It's so difficult. And what is the purpose of hiding this cable right here? Don't get it. I don't get it. Make life difficult for everyone to just want to change. Okay. Let's starting to put some screw back together. So fan, here we go. take your time while putting the screw all back together. We are pretty much halfway there. Do you remember this tiny little piece right here that is for the screen? So make sure you put it back together. You have them on both sides, yeah? Left and right. And the two screws holding down to the charging port. Right, once you have that, might as well just slide the cable back in. So the LCD screen, slide it in and close it with the clipper. Continue putting the screws back in. This is for your CPU fan. I think the challenging part is to have that keyboard cable and the trackpad to push it back in. Sometimes I find those a very tedious job. Okay, let's see. Looks like I might not able to put some of the screw back in. Okay, we're gonna leave some screw out. Let's finish this up. So let's put the cable, slide it back in here for the CPU fan. Slide it in. Make sure you push all the way in and lock it down with the clipper. This is your speaker. Do that. And this tiny cable right here, we might have to slide it in. Oh, that was easy. Not too shabby. Okay, here comes the troublemaker. I'm having some difficulties with the trackpad, touchpad. Okay, that was a bit of a challenge, but we got it. For the Wi-Fi, that connector is just like a Lego. You need to align them in a position where the big circle goes on top to the smaller circle, and then you just kind of press it in. It will go straight in. It takes very less pressure, so do not force it in. You just have to be patient with aligning that circle on top of each other. Okay, so if you find them in the right position, it would just snap back in by itself very easily. But if you're not, then don't force it. Always come back and redo it again. So I believe that longer sticker. So you're going to identify there's a very long black sticker right here. I think that goes to the left. The shorter one I think goes in the middle, and the one without that goes to the far right. I believe that was the settings.